Hello YouTube, Morkez Marihser here. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. A title that invokes a number of feelings when you think about it. Usually, those feelings are of disappointment. Now, I'm not here to spend over 2 hours bashing the game. A number of people have done that and have made a living for themselves on it. No, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to say, the game had potential. Especially when it comes to the aspect which, as far as I can tell, disappointed people the most. The story mode. For a casual viewer, it doesn't matter how good the gameplay is, and it was good, when the chief thing you get to do with that gameplay is as flawed as this. And to me, it didn't have to be this way. Between every awkward cutscene and restrictive gameplay loop, there were moments of brilliance. Character pairings no one would have thought of that make too much sense. Moments that would have been awesome if we at least get to play them. All of it utilizing a criminally small roster of characters, some of which appear on screen once and then never again. I couldn't stop imagining what it would have been like with more time and money poured into it. So, that's exactly what I've done for you today. I've taken apart the story piece by piece, expanded on it, put in more characters, more bosses, more villains, more screen time for those who are neglected, more locations that take the genius concept of the base story. I put it together, I got a voice cast to play the characters, and today, I am telling you the story that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite should have been. I took every DLC character and made them a part of the story. I didn't stop there. I added 6 more characters to the playable roster that the story is based on. Just who are these characters? Well, you'll have to watch and see to find out. Now, to address the elephant in the room before we begin. No, I did not add the X-Men to this project. Wait, don't leave. I do have a good reason for it. Even if you take into account the restrictions of no X-Men, no Fantastic Four, or anything like that, there are still so many characters that were left out of the game. I don't have an Infinity Stone. I can't turn back time or change reality to what we all might have liked it to be. I'm taking it the way it was and turning it into what it could have been. Without further ado, may I present Marvel Infinite Rewrite. Enjoy.
We are born of 2 universes, each of them imperfect, each of them afflicted with the cancer of organic life, formed of space and time, ruled by power and reality, populated with minds and souls. But we shall forge a better one. All life remade in our image, in steel, free from the sins of the flesh. We are your God, and we are coming for you.
Our story begins with 2 battles raging across 2 great cities simultaneously. In one, Asgard, Thor is fighting with Loki and a bunch of mind-controlled Asgardian warriors. When things seem to be going wrong for Thor, he is ready to summon the Avengers to come to his aid. In the other, Able City, X and Zero are rather easily wiping the floor with some seemingly weak Mavericks, which are actually prototypes of a machine that we will see later on.
Something about those Mavericks.
What's wrong, Zero?
I'm not sure. I feel...
Zero! Hang on! I'll call for evac!
I feel something in my core. Almost like I'm going Maverick. X.
As they were fighting, the Zero virus started to resurge in its host, causing him to bug out and attack his friend. Meanwhile, in Asgard...
Well, brother, you do put up an incredible fight against your own people.
Loki, stop this madness, and I shall spare thee from father's judgment.
Not as if your word has stopped him from judging anything. Alas, I leave little to chance nowadays.
Always the trickster, Loki pulls out an artifact that could banish Thor to another dimension, aims it at him, and fires. However, the magical energy freezes in midair as the two universes ripple and fade to white. When reality returns, Asgard and Abel's city are no more, and everyone stands in the converged city of Abelgard.
What sorcery is...
Central Highway is...
Who are you?
Thor and X react to their environment with various expressions of shock and bewilderment. However, the energy from Loki's artifact resumes its course, and now, Zero is standing in its path. It collides with him, he screams, and vanishes. Zero!
What the? Who stepped in the way? What happened to my kingdom?
Loki! Whatever you've done, you shall pay for it!
For once, I'm not to blame here. This is unnatural, even for me.
Loki gets the feeling that something is not right to the point where even he is shaking. He flees immediately, while X and Thor are left to survey Abelgard. They are interrupted by approaching footsteps. Meanwhile, it seems that similar events have been taking place on Earth. Spider-Man struggles to keep up with the unfamiliar skyline of New Metro City, which cropped up out of nowhere.
They say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I think this counts as all of the above.
Of course, there is still plenty of crime to fight in the form of some heavily armed thugs. He takes them out, and when they get reinforcements, so does he in the form of Captain America. After taking out some of their own, Mayor Mike Hagar and Interpol Officer Chun-Li hear the costumed heroes from afar and decide to investigate.
Who in the world are they?
I don't know. Costumes are suspicious.
You're not exactly one to talk, Mr. Mayor.
As I was saying, at least they're cleaning up the streets, so they're good in my...
Hagar is interrupted when a newspaper lands on his face. A front-page Spider-Man bashing from J. Jonah Jameson. Almost immediately, his mind has been changed, and they go to apprehend the supposed violent psycho-vigilantes, as the paper indicates. After a fight, though, they manage to clear things up.
Sorry about that. Usually I feel like I can trust the newspapers.
Hey, it happens all the time. Put a piece of good word in for me, maybe a photo op, and I'll call it even.
Ha! I like you, Spider-Man. Consider it a deal.
Oh boy.
We all squared away, officer?
Please, it's Chun-Li. Didn't realize you were military.
Or you, Interpol?
I get that a lot.
Hagar leaves to handle things from his office. Spider-Man goes back on patrol, and Captain America and Chun-Li decide to contact more allies and regroup at Avengers Tower. Right then, though, X and Thor arrive in a crater, having been forcibly removed from Abelgard.
Thor!
He's coming.
Who's coming?
Ultron! Sigma! One month has passed. X, with the help of Iron Man, installs a backup AI of Dr. Light to run the systems of Avengers Tower. Together, they, Captain America, Thor, and Chun-Li send out a message to all surviving heroes they can reach. Goodness knows they'll need all the help they can get. The Marvel heroes they are able to reach are Hawkeye, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Rocket Raccoon, who with Groot had been separated from the other Guardians of the Galaxy. Their pod got hit by a shockwave at the moment of the convergence and, much to Rocket's annoyance, they ended up on Earth. The Capcom heroes they summon are Chris Redfield, Strider Hiryu, Nathan Spencer, and Dante, who shows up at the last minute fighting off a mindless one. Within a few days, the 14 heroes form under the name Neo Avengers and discuss their best course of action.
I know not if it was there at the moment of convergence, but his attack was far too organized.
We were forced out in less than an hour.
And the Bifrost that allowed us to flee. I can no longer access its magics.
Sounds way out of whack for me. I mean, magic, gods, aliens, robots.
You do have a robot arm, you know.
Yeah, touche.
There's no doubt. Ultron Sigma is connected to the Convergence, and if we're going to find out how, we need to attack him. Together.
So, what's the plan?
Hold it. What's this about together? I've never met half you guys.
If Captain America thinks that's what we need to do.
Yeah, I'm sure in your world, that means something.
Just point me in the direction of this Able Guard, and I'll handle it.
Yeah. You don't look like you have remotely enough firepower to do that. Even I probably don't.
Hate to side with the Humies, but they've got a point. And this one's pretty good at pointing where to punch.
I am Groot.
Hey, can it? These compliments ain't easy.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Hold, Spencer. Captain America may be immortal, but you shall show him respect.
Just a human? Well, now I know I'm better off without you.
Dante, we might need you as well.
Well, that's just a shame. See ya.
I cannot allow you to leave and jeopardize our efforts. You are needed here.
It's none of your business, Goldilocks.
The argument escalates to the point where Thor and Black Widow are defending Captain America's honor with violence. Thankfully, the matter is settled when Chris steps up to Cap and gives him a salute.
If these varied personalities all trust you as a leader, it's my duty to follow. Sir!
At ease, Commander. We're not a military force. We just need to strike like one. Or better than one.
Everyone, we lose valuable time arguing amongst ourselves when we all want the same thing. If you have any issues, get over them before you come with.
Oh, what the hell. If he's in, I might as well come along.
And you, Spencer?
Fine. Just point me where to punch.
The distrusting heroes shake hands, resolving to work together. The Neo Avengers then turn to a map of Able Guard and start planning their recon mission. The Neo Avengers head to Able Guard with a 3-step plan. Step 1, Alpha Team, led by Captain America, will draw out enemy forces. Step 2, Beta Team, led by Chris, will perform reconnaissance. Step 3, make it back home alive. Alpha Team tears through Ultron Sigma's drones rather easily, until they find a group of Asgardian warriors at the city gates. Instead of reinforcements, however, the warriors have been assimilated, corrupted. They are now ex-Guardian sentries, and they attack fiercely.
Damn, these things are like cockroaches.
Have care, mortal. These were once my people. Even now they fight well.
Depends on what you call... Heads up!
Verily, that was close. You have my thanks.
No problem. Hope you still don't hold a grudge from earlier.
We are brothers in battle, Spencer, as were my people once. Come, we shall free them, or die trying.
I'm with you at that first part.
The ex-Guardians do go down with some effort, but Alpha Team is left surrounded and can advance no further. Meanwhile, Beta Team find themselves going in circles as the palace interior is seemingly inconsistent. As they run into a dungeon, they find a knight in shining armor half their size calling for their attention.
Hail, wizard and company! I am Sir Arthur from a land of ghouls and ghosts. I thank you for my rescue.
Great. A mini-Thor.
Thor? The heathen god of thunder? Explain yourself!
It's a long story. How'd you get here, anyway?
I was seeking justice against the crimes of the most fearsome Red Arima, Firebrand.
Red Arima? A demon I've never heard of.
How have you not? They have been the scourge of my land for decades.
This world has been changed, Sir Arthur. Merged with another. We are here to determine why, and how we may return it to what it was.
You are warriors of justice as well. Then, you have my lance at your side.
Just like that?
We'd be honored to have you, Sir Arthur.
Yeah, we need all the help we can. Wait a second.
One cell over is a prisoner of incredible interest. As they get a better look, Rocket arrives, followed by 2 ex-Guardians. They repel the forces before considering what to do with the prisoner. Chris even considers releasing him into their own custody.
No. Bad idea.
What is it?
Seriously? You know who this is, right? Doc, back me up here.
I am Groot.
I know you know. That's not the point.
The choice is yours, Commander.
We've got a job to do, and he might have the information we need. We're not leaving without him.
The group is interrupted by an explosion coming from outside. Doctor Strange, Arthur, and Widow stay behind while the others rush to help Alpha Team against the onslaught of drones and ex-Guardians. And just as it seems like they're able to hold their own, Ultron Sigma arrives in person.
Fools! Our will is law. We will destroy you.
All teams, engage! Go, go, go!
Try as they might, the heroes' combined strength is no match for Ultron Sigma. When Thor and Spencer try a pincer attack, they in turn are attacked by a cloud of the Sigma virus. Spencer isn't affected, but Thor is, and the group is forced to retreat. Doctor Strange pulls everyone out at the last possible second, as Ultron Sigma stands, laughing.
Good. Another spark of hope to be crushed.
Back at the tower, everyone is licking their wounds. While Arthur marvels at the technology around him, Thor notes a glowing silver spot on his arm but tries to cast it aside. The team already has enough on their plate as it is.
So, theories on the table. Ultron Sigma was pretty much unstoppable, and we need to know why.
The Infinity Stones are usually a good guess.
Yeah, I thought so too. But if any of those are AC, Ultron Sigma's giving off DC. And big time.
Does anyone actually use DC?
I'm going to allow that.
I too sense different energies. Ones that tied into reality, but definitely not the stones. They must be an artificial source, as I sense no mystical energies either.
Just what are these Infinity Stones anyway?
After Strange gives a quick summary of what the Infinity Stones are, everyone looks around for solutions. Captain America, however, looks to the prisoner. After Dr. Light clears up that he is secure in there, Cap suggests removing his mask.
Hold that thought. Tell me you're not seriously planning on taking that thing off him.
We'll need him to talk.
I'll make him talk.
You think the prisoner will lead us to these Infinity Stones?
No. Anything putting the stones, a fetch quest, and him together is a textbook bad idea. I actually had it put in the textbook.
I don't know. If a good idea didn't work, maybe a bad one will help.
Do you hear yourself? Death's boy toy over there.
Death what?
You know, the Grim Reaper. But like, an unusually attractive Grim Reaper.
Forget I asked.
Loverboy almost destroyed the universe multiple times trying to impress her.
If he used the stones to do so, then we may keep him on a leash as we find them ourselves.
He's insanely dangerous, enough so that Ultron Sigma held him prisoner.
All the more reason. He is a threat to a greater enemy.
We're out of options and out of time. Take off the mask.
I'm sorry, Cap. I can't let you do it.
Cap, Iron Man, Strider, and Chun-Li all come to blows. But with a bolt of lightning, Thor breaks it up.
Enough! I understand you hesitate. We have all lost something. Friends, family, a home. But with the power of the Infinity Stones, we can defeat Ultron Sigma. Undo the horrors he has wrought. Asgard and Able City may rise once more. The dead might live again.
Yeah, because that always works out great.
After some more debate, they realize the prisoner is all they have to even the odds against Ultron Sigma. Once they're in agreement, Strange removes the restraints, revealing Thanos. A smug, grinning Thanos.
You have doomed yourselves.
What is losing grip on my senses?
You bicker over me when the imminent threat is one of your own.
What the hell's happening to him?
He's being taken over by the Sigma virus.
You must stop me. I control not my own might.
Thor begins to convulse before he's taken over by the mind of Ultron Sigma. The heroes fight him off as he becomes uncontrollable, but Ultron Sigma makes him unleash a dangerous electric storm, knocking back the heroes and messing with all the electronics in the room, including Thanos' holding cell. Hacking into their communication system, Ultron Sigma taunts the Neo Avengers.
Tiresome creatures. Why do you resist?
So this is Ultron Sigma himself. I am not impressed.
We had a dream. Our two deceased realities, united to form a single perfect universe, with all biological life remade in our image. Yet still, here you are.
You'll find we're stubborn like that.
Yes, but you'll change, as your companion Thor has. He is a part of us now, purified, as you all shall be, or you will be destroyed.
The assimilated Thor pulls himself away through a corrupted version of the Bifrost. Now that the enemy has one of their strongest, the Neo Avengers turn to Thanos. After all, whether he intends to betray them or not, Ultron Sigma is the far more imminent threat, and they need the stones to stop him anyway. Chris gives Thanos an ultimatum. He can help, but he has to stay exactly where he is, and if he touches one stone, they'll put him down. Thanos walks through the malfunctioning force field and extends his hand to accept the deal. Right when that happens, the Milano shows up, piloted by the Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, Gamora, and Nova. Rocket and Captain Marvel brief them on the situation, leaving out Thanos for obvious reasons. The Guardians explain that one of their old bases to refuel is now the Station No Moon, and operated by Grandmaster Mayo, to which Strider instinctively unsheathed his blade. Mayo and Ultron Sigma being allied together also becomes a dangerous possibility. However, past him, the Guardians notice Thanos standing next to the heroes.
Thanos.
Oh boy.
I am Groot.
We were just getting to that part.
You brought him here. Why?
Seriously? That's like a textbook bad idea.
You're telling me?
We need him to lead us to the stones.
He will not help you. And if by some chance Thanos does obtain the stones, he will show us no mercy.
He raised you as his own. Convince him.
I'd rather save our lives here and now.
Ride with you, Gamora.
Apologies, milady, but I shall not let you pass until you see reason.
Move or die, little knight.
Like we haven't had enough sword-wielding crazies trying to end us.
Yeah, but she's not the one who'll be killing you. Also, a little offensive there?
Enough, Quill. We're going after my father.
Oh, no you don't.
Thanos interrupts the fight by standing between them, and gets on a knee before Gamora, pledging a truce.
As they say on this planet, keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
And your family on a tight leash.
Gamora reluctantly puts her weapons away. She fully expects to fight her father, and he wouldn't expect any less. Thanos then returns to his cell, looks at a collective display of the universe, and points out where the stones might be, while the Neo Avengers start assigning teams to collect them. In Abelgard, Ultron Sigma commands his army.
Follow them. They will lead us to the stones. Soon, the Infinite Six will be ours.
The Space Stone has concealed itself behind a barrier. One pure matter cannot penetrate. In a place Ultron Sigma knows nothing of, and cannot reach.
Ryu gets up from a crash in a savannah, and searches for the scientists that allowed him to hitch a ride with them, finding no one. As he wanders a nearby city, he's picked up in the streets by Monster Hunter, joined by Dora Milaje, and he surrenders without a word. He cooperates as the warrior women take him to Black Panther, the king of Valkanda.
King T'Challa, the captive.
I know who you are, Ryu. What business you have in Valkanda?
Your Highness, my travels to find inner peace during a crisis led me here. A number of scientists were heading this way, and I took their generous offer for a ride. The craft became caught in some vortex at the border, ending up on the other side in a crash landing.
How many others survived the crash?
One, a scientist.
And where is this scientist?
Apparently, he's here.
Banner.
Hulk, remember what I taught you. You must control your rage.
After Ryu calms the Hulk down, the Panther and Hunter challenge them for disgracing Valkanda with the skirmish, and it ends in a draw. Watching this from a distance is a mysterious figure in a black gi, who looks up to see another jet, featuring a rescue team of Captain America and Chun-Li.
It is good to see you, Dr. Banner.
Puny Banner left in crash.
Whatever you say, friend.
Captain, you seek the Stone of Space.
Straight to the point.
We do.
Then you have had a wasted journey.
Captain America continues to try and reason with the King, but before he gets the chance, Ultron drones start pouring in from everywhere, carrying the Sigma virus. Despite the fact that the invasion might have followed them in, Captain America and the others are allowed to defend the capital, but Panther insists that the Space Stone stays with him. While Cap and the Hunter rescue civilians and Chun-Li works with the King, Ryu tells Hulk to hold back before he makes things worse. However, a loud roar cuts through the air.
No.
What is it?
Something ancient, yet changed.
A large horned beast starts erupting from the distant sands and heads straight for the palace. On its face is a blemish reminiscent of the ex-Guardians and their assimilation.
The Elder Dragon, Darren Moran.
It's infected with the Sigma virus. Thor was dangerous, but this...
It'll be too strong to deal with.
Hulk take Dragon down! Hulk is strongest there is!
We'll handle the monster. You clear the way.
My king?
Do it! Hurry! For the glory of Valkanda! Hunt that monster down!
Ryu and Hulk face a virus-infected Darren Moran, breaking off a piece of its horn and ramming it through the skull. After that, the invasion stops, but Valkanda has suffered heavy damage. Still, Panther agrees to give up the Space Stone in exchange for coming to Valkanda's aid, as he would come to theirs if Ultron Sigma returns. Agreeing, Ryu and Hulk join the others on the trip back to New Metro City, as the dark figure keeps watch from below.
Someone with rage to rival my own.
The Time Stone lies in the unlikely forest paradise of Blue Nippon. Unguarded, yet immovable all the same. If you seek it, you shall need a guide.
Captain Marvel and Black Widow fly a Quinjet to Blue Nippon, noting the odd forest pattern on what used to be the surface of the moon. They land in a clearing and exit the ship, finding a white wolf named Amaterasu is waiting for them.
Hostile ahead.
It's a wolf, Romanoff.
Can never be too sure, Major Danvers.
And it seems to be asking us to follow.
Maybe she's the guide Thanos mentioned.
She?
What? It isn't obvious?
With a shrug, they follow Amaterasu to a shrine with the time stone sitting on it in plain sight. As Widow tries to touch the time stone, Amaterasu suddenly goes from kind to vicious and attacks them.
I don't think she liked that.
I won't say I told you so.
How would this even count?
After knocking the wolf aside, Widow grabs the time stone and finds she can't move. A mass of black energy emerges from the altar beneath where the stone was sitting. As Widow is enveloped, she screams, and once it passes, she turns her gauntlets on Captain Marvel and the wolf. It doesn't stop there, as another black mass emerges from Widow's head. This second dark miasma turns into a mirage of Hawkeye, and readies to attack alongside Widow.
Barton? Right. Punch first, ask later.
Captain Marvel and Amaterasu are forced to knock them out. The effort manages to drain all of Captain Marvel's photonic energy. Widow does snap out of it though, but the Dark Hawkeye is another matter entirely. It returns to the form of a dark miasma, then condenses into a sphere, before growing and growing. Red patterns appear all over its body, as it becomes an incarnation of the dark god Yami.
That was a pretty cheap time to set my powers, Nat.
I think its name is Yami. The time stone showed me something while I was taken by it. It's a dark entity sealed in the past. Or the future. I can't tell.
Yeah, but couldn't it have waited to show up until I could punch it?
I'll do it for you. Fine. We'll do it for you.
With Captain Marvel down for the count, Widow and Amaterasu are forced to fight Yami themselves. Once they do, Captain Marvel uses the Time Stone to seal Yami away back wherever he came from. The past, the future, a parallel timeline, doesn't matter as long as he's gone. When the dust settles, Widow gives the other two an apologetic look, and they all decide to head back to base, including Amaterasu.
So, you and Clint, eh? What was that about?
Ask the wolf, Danvers.
The Power Stone lies at the heart of the space station No Moon. It powers not only the station, but a vast experimental army.
Gamora, Rocket, X, Strider, and Groot head to No Moon in the Milano, sharing a little light conversation along the way. While Strider is readying himself for an old enemy, Rocket, on the other hand...
Hey, what's the biggest thing you ever killed with that bad boy?
Shh! Rocket, you listening?
Yeah. Crash No Moon, find the core, and add the Power Stone, and boom! Home in time for cocktails.
Right when they touch down, they're met with a wave of Ultron drones who are easily disposed of. However, it's a trap. A tall red figure with a blade is waiting for them as they progress to the interior.
Who's the action figure?
Zero?
Zero. No. I am Omega.
I am Groot.
I thought you were dead, or Maverick, or worse.
Your words mean nothing. You're in my way.
Grandmaster must be the tinkering type. Except what he did was clearly all screwy.
Zero! I'm your partner, remember? No. I am. A second X appears behind the heroes, readying his buster to fire. He looks very different from the real X, and has an unstable electronic voice.
I am Groot.
Oh, great. Some stinking copy of X.
I am no copy. I am the X that should have been. Omega, let us destroy this imposter.
Affirmative.
I won't let him deceive you, Zero.
He ain't listening, buddy. And no offense, but I'm gonna enjoy blowing up at least one of you.
X trades off buster shots with his copy, showing that they are equal in power. While Gamora and Strider rush ahead, Rocket and X fight off Zero and Copy X. The copy is destroyed, but Zero manages to escape. Once they catch up with the others, they run into Grandmaster Mayo, who has finished a mass-produced set of androids designed off of X, calling them Pantheons.
There's no end to these.
Mayo, Loki, Ultron Sigma. I've had it with everyone toying around with my world and my friends.
X, I understand you're frustrated, but you need to calm down before anything gets fixed. And we still have to take down Mayo.
I know, but...
X, allow me to stand in your stead. Mayo and I have history. Let me take the first step in your vengeance by vanquishing him.
You won't have to do it alone.
I am Groot! I am Groot!
Enough of the chatter! More coming!
Ha ha ha! Come, bear witness to the death of your world. It shall be rebuilt in Ultron Sigma's image, and my Pantheon shall destroy any who resist.
Strider, I trust you. Rocket, let's cover them!
Gamora and Strider fight through more waves of Pantheons and are able to defeat Mayo, whose fate is left unclear. After which, they find the core of the station and grab the Power Stone, shutting down Pantheon reinforcements and setting the station to blow. While Rocket is eager to grab some of the experimental weaponry, there's not enough time. They barely make it to the Milano before No Moon explodes. Back at the tower, Iron Man and Spencer work on additional cybersecurity with Dr. Light. Thanos remains in his cell, willingly, but Spencer isn't even sure that he should be there.
I don't know, Stark. We're on our own here. We need Thanos. Free.
What's that word I'm searching for? No? And when did you become so trusting?
Hey, I'm just being realistic. I like living, if you haven't guessed.
Okay, first, being a realist is actually my thing. And second, that could have saved plenty of bruises if you had been this trusting over Cap.
That helmet too tight on your head, you hypocrite.
Overhearing the argument, Hawkeye shakes his head and continues his surveillance from the top of the tower. As luck would have it, a number of drones are flying in, and he has to fight them off. Unfortunately, in a second wave, some knock away his bow, leaving him unarmed.
My bow's down.
It's okay, we'll buy you a new one.
Very funny, guys. I'll man the computer.
Relax. We've got this.
Hawkeye tries to reinitialize the shields while Iron Man and Spencer fight off more of the drones. Before they succeed, though, Ultron Sigma arrives in person.
Guys, pizza's here.
Thanos, we see you traded one prison for another. Will you not bow to your god?
You are no god. You are a fool. You wield the literal powers of creation, yet you use it like a child, smashing its toys together.
You have served your purpose. The Infinity Stones will be ours, and you'll never know if they can stop us.
Light! Horton, hit it!
Hawkeye pulls an emergency lever, running the power of the holding cell through Spencer's arm and Iron Man's unibeam, stunning Ultron Sigma and freeing Thanos. Thanos eagerly fights Ultron Sigma himself, knocking him down and revealing an ultimate nullifier at the core of his circuitry. but it looks a little different. Iron Man barely gets a glance at it before Ultron Sigma's AI begins to separate.
What? You hurt me.
You hurt us.
That hurts. We must retreat and repair. In time, you will all come to us.
Putting himself back in one piece, Ultron Sigma retreats, leaving a devastated tower. Hawkeye comes down to help Stark and Spencer, and sees Thanos picking up a piece of rubble and returning his bow from beneath it. A rather unusual show of gratitude from the Mad Titan.
Here is your weapon, Archer. Now, tell me how I can be of service. The Reality Stone lies in the nexus of the galaxy, on an unnamed planet. Among its cities, Fortune's Crown, where frauds and kings are one and the same.
Using a pod from the Milano, Nova and Star-Lord fly to a planet that looks entirely like a crime-ridden city. They touch down in one of its more abandoned and dilapidated neighborhoods, Fortune's Crown.
Fortune's Crown, my helmet. Look at the place.
Hey, I've lived in worse.
You still do, Quill.
Oh yeah, that's funny. That's real funny. And when you're on my team, so do you, Ryder.
Rotting flesh.
I'm starting to feel attacked.
No, really, rotting flesh!
Zombies? So we're both right!
The two have to fight off some pretty typical zombies, and they go down with ease. Of course, because it was so easy, it was clearly a trap. Out of nowhere, they are stunned by an unfamiliar red light and frozen in place. When they can finally move again, they find themselves in the middle of a gladiator arena, with a spotlight on them and a chanting crowd.
Ladies, gentlemen, indescribable creatures from around the galaxy, may I present your special guest entertainers. The infamous outlaw Star-Lord and the super space cop Nova! Can these two unlikely partners conquer this contest of champions?
A floating platform descends from above, with a man holding a microphone and a cloaked figure behind him. The man is wearing a gray suit, sunglasses, a red royal cape, and the Reality Stone as a brooch on his tie.
Well, you'll just have to find out. I am your Grandmaster of Games, your Monarch of Mayhem. I am Tyrone the Red King, and this is the new and improved Terror is Reality!
Tyrone brags about how he dethroned the previous king of the place with the help of his assistant in the cloak, Loki, who has been feigning loyalty for weeks. And of course the Reality Stone did most of the heavy lifting.
Ever since I got tossed here with my shiny little bauble, I thought things were gonna look up. But I have been bored to tears.
Understandable, sire.
How long is that gonna last?
So what better way to bring some life back into the place than by making a couple of Guardians fight for theirs? One of you will be fighting against all sorts of folks. Get to the end of my gauntlet and you'll have the shot at the big title. And more importantly, your freedom. Do you accept the challenge?
You bet your sweet-ass robe we do.
Will, wait! The challenge is accepted! Let the terror begin!
And so begins a multi-round tournament, with Tyrone stacking the odds against their favor with the Reality Stone. Round 1, some locked up criminals from Earth, or as Tyrone puts it, his home turf. Round 2, zombies, whom Tyrone comments are more loyal than anyone else he's ever worked with. And round 3, some ex-Guardians, who don't seem to be connected to Ultron Sigma, but you can never be too sure.
Now that's what I'm talking about!
Bring on the champion already! Hardly breaking a sweat!
Assistant, give them what they want. Light show and everything.
If you insist, sire. Presenting the Red King's humble champion. From the deserts of Earth.
All of the spotlights converge on the center of the arena as a twister appears out of nowhere, blowing Loki and the heroes back quite a bit. And out of that twister appears their next opponent.
Yeah! I am Rashid of the Turbulent Wind. Remember it well. The famous warrior of the scorching sands and ferocious storms. Now the champion of all Fortune's crown.
Who?
Oh, come on! You must have heard of me. I had like a following like crazy before the convergence.
I know how you feel, buddy. But we're still gonna kick your ass.
You are free to try.
All right! Now that's what I wanted to see! Fight!
While they start fighting, Loki looks for an opportunity to grab the stone and escape, as he has been doing for weeks. Right when he thinks he has his chance, Tyrone starts to tire of just having one of the heroes fight at a time, and he wants to see a tag match, winner take all. He orders Loki to fight alongside Rashid, which he does upon threat of being attacked with the stone.
Yes! A tag match! This kind of hype will make me skyrocket in the ratings.
If you insist on spouting hot air, at least do it at them so we can end this torture.
Ha! I just want it to last longer to see his face.
Focus! We need to get that stone.
I think not. Pulverize them, windbag!
At the end of the fight, Loki sees his chance. During the commotion, he tricks Star-Lord into firing a shot right in Tyrone's direction, knocking the stone right off of him. Grabbing it for himself, Loki wrests control of the arena from Tyrone, sending waves of crimson wind and fire at the heroes, trapping them, and literally throwing Tyrone out of the ring. Sensing foul play, Rashid counters with his own wind to protect himself.
Hey, not cool! What kind of show is this anyway?
One where we got used, you simpleton! I only put up with it to get my hands on this. You simply rolled over for your fake audience.
No one insults my adoring fans. They made me what I am today.
Then the reality stone will unmake you.
Loki sends out horde after horde of zombie and criminal, but Rashid blows them all away with ease. Loki, however, already has the reality stone, so there's no point in sticking around. He flees, leaving Rashid, the heroes, and an empty stadium. The three decide to head back to Earth, with Rashid agreeing to do what he can to make up for this. Of course, it certainly doesn't hurt that being a Neo-Avenger might give him a bigger following.
The Soul Stone lies in another realm, by far the furthest from reach of humanity, and host to inhumanity where even I dare not associate.
Ghost Rider follows the trail of thousands of stolen innocent souls, having narrowed down the location of their captor to the Dark Kingdom. There, he is met by a starved Morrigan, who desperately needs to feed on desire, and figures that Ghost Rider's strive for vengeance just might suffice.
Tell me, Rider, is it business that brings you here, or pleasure?
Vengeance.
Oh, a bit of both.
She does everything she can to coax his desires out of him, but it doesn't seem to work. Angry, she blocks him off and casts a spell to hold his bike in place.
If you cannot give me what I need, I'll take it from you.
I have no wish to destroy you, succubus.
Then dance with me, Rider. In flame and in fire.
After the rider fights her off, they're interrupted by Doctor Strange, Arthur, and Dante. When they finally all calm down, Morrigan explains that she's heard that Jeddah might have the Soul Stone, and she can take them to him. But what's there is dangerous, even to her. Arthur offers his chivalry, which she finds adorable. On the way, they are met with a bunch of Remer demons, which Strange can now familiarize himself with. Morrigan and Ghost Rider fight them off, and she manages to feed on their energies.
Even a blind lust for violence is a powerful desire. My lifeblood and my power.
Careful, fair maiden. From whence come Remus, Firebrand shall not be far. He is the strongest of his kind, and is not to be underestimated.
Ooh, I'm so terrified.
As they venture further, Strange points out a type of monster that he's far more familiar with. Mindless ones, which start attacking as they get closer to Jeddah. Once they arrive, they find Jeddah creating his perfect monster. A large black and white beast glowing green and orange.
Ah, Lady Morrigan, look on and marvel at my creation!
Impressive, but not what I'd call my type.
Furthermore, an abomination.
No, here's a weapon. A symbiote, fed on 1,000,000 human souls.
So many innocents sacrificed.
And held together by a host that gives it a desire for justice. Justice it may inflict upon Ultron Sigma once it consumes 1,000,000 more.
Before they can intervene, they are surrounded by a wall of hellfire. This allows Jeddah to escape with the symbiote and the Soul Stone.
I will deal with the symbiote once the flames can be stopped.
First, you will deal with me, sorcerer.
Dormammu.
Firebrand! It is as I warned. He is in league with this unknown devil.
You were a fool to come here, Strange. This place shall become your grave.
While the Convergence did leave Dormammu weaker, Strange and Arthur are barely able to hold them back. And it's too late anyway, as Jeddah is long gone. Seeing as the battle is lost, the five escape to Earth before Dormammu gets his second wind.
Soon, my ally, soon. Whatever they do to Doma, the sun shall never set on my Dark Kingdom.
The Mind Stone is concealed not far from here, in a secret laboratory deep beneath the headquarters of the Umbrella Corporation.
Not long before the Dark Kingdom incident, Chris sneaks around the Umbrella facility alone. After the recent failure, he's not exactly keen on waiting for backup. Backup, of course, arrives anyway in the form of Spider-Man, much to Chris's annoyance. Before Spidey can be brought up to speed, there's a mysterious humanoid creature ahead. As they fight off a few, with Chris referring to them as BOWs, both of them somehow feel they can recognize the creature.
That was not what it should have been.
You were thinking the fleshy bits. I was thinking the goop, right? Story of my... Wait, there's something else. Something ugly. Something malignant. Frank West, ladies and gentlemen!
Okay, you got me.
Frank, as it turns out, was tailing Spider-Man for the past couple weeks. Then he stopped in order to switch to investigating plenty of disappearances, from as low as street thugs and as high as the mayor. Chris reluctantly lets Frank come along, despite his visible frustration. As they explore further, the group finds a lab, where a number of BOWs are being grown by adding a mysterious red and black goo onto kidnapped subjects. One of the subjects in the next pod over is the mayor. As Spider-Man prepares to break the glass and free him, he kind of wakes up and does it himself. And unfortunately for Spider-Man's jaw, his mood is rather punchy.
You just messed with the wrong mayor, buddy.
Hey, chill. We're not your...
You're gonna need a seize and defist.
That's my thing. Get him, guys.
In his enraged state, Chris and Frank end up struggling against the mayor. Spidey manages to get up and calm Hagar down, and they catch up on recent events. Hagar explained that he was kidnapped in the middle of paperwork, without wearing a shirt, regarding assisting the Avengers, and that was weeks ago. The catch-up is interrupted, however, when Chris hears voices, and the group chases after them. This brings them to the rafters of a lab within the lab. Always a good sign.
The parasite is not mutating as anticipated. We require more time.
There is no more time. Perhaps your arrogance outstrips your intellect.
My intellect is unmatched. Progress simply cannot keep up with where the stone has taken us.
That's a very big head.
That's MODOK. More dangerous than he looks, but just as silly. Who's the trench coat?
A walking worst-case scenario.
Indeed. Life is so illogical and chaotic, isn't it? The inevitable evolution is hastened one miracle at a time.
Repeating the Umbrella mission statement does us no good, Albert Wesker.
Rest assured, my friend, the body we create for the ultimate weapon will be up to the task. Assuming, of course, that any interference is crushed.
As if timed to those words, a rocket launcher fires out of nowhere and strikes the rafters from below, knocking down the heroes. MODOK, holding the Mind Stone, uses it to summon and empower a number of BOWs to attack Frank and Spider-Man, while Wesker and a mystery figure are content to watch. With the BOWs down, MODOK summons Nemesis to deal with Chris and Hagar.
Nemesis!
Nemesis has been waiting for you. Crush the soldier and our escaped subject.
Not you. You may have your fun when your toys are broken in.
The mystery figure stands down and continues to watch. Despite charging Nemesis with the Mind Stone, MODOK is defeated, and Spider-Man makes a move to grab the Mind Stone with a web line. However, Wesker snaps his fingers, and the mystery figure slices the web with a knife and catches the stone in his metal arm. The Winter Soldier hands the Mind Stone to Wesker.
Good boy. Your obedience is up there with your skill. Now assist me in wiping out these pests.
I think I know who that is.
No way! Those war photos I found in my investigation! It can't be!
Winter Soldier? Yep, that's him. Cap's not gonna like this.
Interference must be crushed.
The heroes are barely able to fight Wesker and the Winter Soldier. When the tide starts to turn in their favor, Wesker retreats through a secret exit, hitting a button to open a portal and unleash their ultimate weapon, the symbiote, fully developed. About to be crushed by debris, MODOK laughs as the heroes and other villains all flee.
I created your demise. Science!
The teams that collected the Space and Time Stones, as well as the team that failed to get the Soul Stone, return to Neo Avengers Tower. They're not too happy to see Thanos up and about, but are interrupted by an alert from the Mind Stone team, warning them that something's coming. If the Power Stone team burns out the Milano's engines, they can get here in a few minutes, but the Reality Stone team is even farther away. On the ground, Chris lays covering fire and Spider-Man webs up the entrance to a new Metro City garage, but the symbiote tears right through it. Jeddah shows up as well, leading his pet on a rampage.
I sense the stones nearby. Yes. With their power, I shall save this wretched world.
We've got to stop that thing!
The symbiotes. They're vulnerable to high-frequency vibration. A signal generator, church bells...
We're in the wrong neighborhood for church bells, buddy. I got it.
No, wait!
Before the others can stop him, Chris goes for a rocket launcher, and the impact splashes a bunch of symbiote goo onto Spider-Man. The wall crawler is taken under control and suitably knocks Chris out. Other heroes join in to keep him under control while Jeddah monologues.
Behold my masterpiece! You shall be the first to offer it your soul!
Somebody stop me! This stuff is hard to get off!
On it, Spidey! Somebody help him!
Once they knock the symbiote out of Spider-Man, he senses something familiar. Not just that he's been covered by the goo yet again. He's nearly run over by Ghost Rider, though, who flies in with more again.
Surrender the stone, and I'll allow you to keep your soul.
Buddy, if I had $1 for every time I've heard that line, I probably wouldn't be behind rent this month.
Jeddah! End this, please. The humans are not.
They are the cattle on which we feed. This is merely a culling of the herd. And what place has someone like you at their defense?
Sure. I've collected quite a lot of souls myself over the years. But any claim you had on the natural order is long forfeit.
You will endure the suffering of every single one. So speaks the spirit of vengeance.
Endure it. I will savor it.
Jeddah is repelled despite having the Soul Stone, and officially flees when Hulk and even more heroes arrive. Right then, the Milano barely manages to make it back to the tower without crashing. From it, X and Rocket deliver covering fire from a distance, while Gamora uses the ship's weapons. Despite the vast weapon barrage, the symbiote doesn't flinch at all.
What options do we have?
Well, let's see. Death by symbiote, death by demon. Oh, and death by robot apocalypse even if we win.
Well, when you put it like that.
We need better than that. Stark?
What do you think I've been doing for the past kaiju movie and a half?
3 Infinity Stones.
Oh, here we go again.
Yes, there is a way. If you are willing to trust me.
The conversation is interrupted by Jeddah, who attacks the group in the tower directly. Captain America and Ryu challenge him and an Arimer he summons. The Arimer is defeated, but Jeddah scores a major hit on Ryu. In retaliation, Ryu glows with the Satsui no Hado, and fires a Hadoken that changes color from blue to purple in his hands. Jeddah feels the attack burn as it grazes him, much to Thanos' intrigue.
Such power! A pity I must destroy it.
You think you know power, demon? I will show you power.
If you crave death, Titan, then you shall have it. But first...
Ryu can't control himself, and is vulnerable to Jeddah's attack. But Thanos shields him from an orange light from his palm. Thanos gives Ryu a knowing look, and fights Jeddah off himself. After Jeddah leaves everyone to be killed by the symbiote, Thanos picks Ryu back up to his feet, and starts detailing a plan how to defeat the symbiote.
Everyone, do you copy? We need X and Iron Man at the tower. Nova, you're needed here as well, now.
Our craft won't make it back in time, Cap.
Who says you need a craft? You can fly twice as fast.
You want me to just leave you here?
Shut up and get to Earth, Rich. Me and Whirlwind here. We'll be fine.
Right. On my way.
You people are amazing.
Nova rockets to Earth, leaving Star-Lord and Rashid behind in the pod to catch up eventually. Until he arrives, Hulk and Hagar stall off the symbiote directly, as everyone else holds it down. They don't get much damage before being shaken off. In the nick of time, Nova lands by striking the symbiote hard enough from above that something is knocked out. No, not something, someone. Venom.
Brock? I knew it!
Who's that?
Long story, but he might be able to help. Eddie, wake up!
Oh boy, this ought to be good.
We are Venom!
Hey, Venom! Good to see you're not still in that thing.
Spider-Man! We shall destroy you for all that you've done to us!
You, might want to look around first.
Yes. We shall settle this another time. We have been used to create that thing. And we shall destroy it!
Hail, friend beast! If it is yon demon you wish to slay, allow me to assist.
Little man, you seem noble to a fault. You are not corrupt like Spider-Man, and shall be an asset in battle.
Do I even want to know what he's talking about?
I plead the fifth.
Nova grabs the Power Stone and starts charging it with the Nova Force on top of the tower. X does the same with the Space Stone, and Iron Man with the Time Stone. As they prepare to fire, Venom and Arthur weather the beast down enough that it can be lined up by Doctor Strange. At Thanos' direction, the three fire together, aiming their joined beams at the symbiote, obliterating it. However, as the body of the symbiote dissipates, the souls seemingly vanish into the ether. Not gone, but taken. X and Nova get back to their feet pretty quickly, but Iron Man is unconscious. Through the Time Stone, the mind of Tony Stark travels back before the Convergence, to the desolate realm, the home of Mistress Death, as she is approached by an unwelcome visitor.
I know the name of every soul that has ever lived, and died, and ever will. Yet, I don't know yours, demon. Explain.
Mistress Death, I am Jeddah, and I am not of this realm. Mine is a universe beyond your reach, where heroes never truly die. I can give them to you.
And what is it you seek in return?
Equilibrium.
Jeddah proposes a union of their two worlds, shaped by Death however she pleases, and he'll gladly help if she gives him the Soul Stone. Intrigued, Death remarks that she could use souls he collects as power to merge the realities at the point of their birth. But she can't exactly cause that birth to happen all over again, not on her own.
Indeed. Surely, though, there must be a mind among all your heroes and villains that can accomplish this.
Perhaps there is one who desires me above all else.
The following day, Death summons Thanos to figure out a way to restart multiple universes at once. He concludes that the technology known as the Ultimate Nullifier can restart a single universe in the right hands. But two? Nothing in this universe can do that. Death, of course, knows this. However, looking through her well, she has found another universe. In that world is the technological marvel Able City. Even when you're in that world, that city is blocked off by an impenetrable barrier. Impenetrable to most, at least. Not to Ultron. The following day, Thanos summons Ultron and shows him the city. An intriguing proposition, Titan. And yet, I could kill you now and claim the power of this city as my own. What need have I for you?
You have incredible intellect, machine. Incredible conviction. But they are artificial. Simulated. Only organic will can truly use the nullifier, or else it leads to annihilation. But, while wielding the weapon, I can shield you from its effects, and this city and its wonders can be yours.
A power rivaling even that of the Infinity Stones. The two make a deal. Ultron will break into Able City and use its tech to upgrade the nullifier. Thanos will shield Ultron from its effects in use, and Thanos will return to his universe with Ultron having control over all of Able City, doing whatever he pleases with it. After breaching the barrier and entering Able City, Ultron encounters resistance, in the form of Sigma.
I can destroy you now, Insurgent. Purge you from these systems, rewrite you from the inside out.
And I you, Sigma.
Both of us would perish. A pity. Your code is impressive.
Yours is almost poetry. A hymn to order and reason. The two find they have a lot in common and agree to join together to eradicate all organic life. Later, in the lab, Ultron, Sigma, and Thanos have finished the new, upgraded Infinite Nullifier. And now that they're finished, they of course betray Thanos, attacking him together. After defeating the Titan, the two machines physically merge around the Infinite Nullifier, gaining a hybrid form and a new name.
Our name is Ultron Sigma. We have become as one, and the terms of the deal have changed.
You have made a grave mistake, both of you.
An artificial mind is incomplete and cannot wield the nullifier. But we are together, complete, perfect, and an infinite nullifier of our design shall lay the living of two universes to rest in a single grave. Where there is sinew, let there be steel.
Jeddah and Death watch in horror as Ultron Sigma radiates the power of the Infinite Nullifier to collapse all organic life in both universes on itself, eradicating all of it. However, Thanos fires a Titan's Gaze at the Nullifier right before it activates, and the worlds merge as neither side intended in a flash of white. Back in the present, Iron Man wakes up, not sure just how to comprehend what he just saw. He decides to keep this information to himself while starting damage assessments on the tower. Clearly, this crisis is bigger than he thought, and that's saying something. With only 3 stones in hand, the tower heavily damaged, the Milano needing repair, and all Quinjets destroyed, the New Avengers decide to divide and conquer once again, but they'll have to take a different approach. Black Widow takes the Space Stone to Valkanda in order to request aid and supplies from King T'Challa, as well as any warriors they can spare. Iron Man takes Thanos and a team to what's left of Sigma's lab in Able City. They bring along the Time Stone and hope to use it and the tech to build an anti-nullifier superweapon. The rest will have to stay behind and fix things up before they can chase any more leads on the remaining 3 stones. On the side, Venom is finally brought up to speed, and he reveals, or more accurately coughs up, the Soul Stone from deep within his body, from the time he was part of the Behemoth. Problem? It's completely powerless.
That's not possible. The Soul Stone's power was used against me, the Captain, and Thanos. I didn't see him holding anything, though.
An Infinity Stone is both font and vessel. If its power was separated after the creation of the symbiote.
Lord Jeddah must have the power of all those souls. I cannot imagine what he'll do with it all.
If he is still in league with Dormammu and Firebrand...
We must act on it. Quickly!
Whatever you do, we wish to be rid of this. It has caused us enough trouble.
Venom haphazardly tosses the empty stone at the group. Ryu catches it and forms a theory.
There may be someone out there with the power to separate the souls from Jeddah.
Do you think he's still alive?
I could feel his presence before. I can feel it now. Near energies like hers, I think.
Blue Nippon? Sure, we could go back there. Come along.
No. If he's there, then I'd be a danger to you all. Especially after things stirred in me before. Chun-Li, please, go in my place.
He won't just talk to me.
No, but he'll recognize you. And he'll talk to Hulk.
Hulk? Really?
I can't explain it. Just a feeling.
Fine. Chun-Li, take Hulk and our wolf friend here to Blue Nippon as soon as there's a ride available.
Just in the nick of time, Star-Lord and Rashid return with the spare pod from the Milano.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Nova's feedback really blew out the shields. Glad to see you're not all dead. Now, who needs a ride?
While they disassemble the pod to rebuild the Milano, Ghost Rider and Dante head back to the Dark Kingdom for recon, using the Power Stone to defend themselves. Later, Amaterasu guides the Hulk through the tranquil gardens of Blue Nippon.
This place. Feel like place where Hulk can be left alone. Hulk might not mind Wolf with Hulk here. Wolf understand Hulk.
They steadily make their way to the abandoned shrine of Yami. While Chun-Li and Star-Lord watch from the ship, Akuma appears before the Hulk.
Your rage, it is powerful. I had sensed it before, in Valkanda. Ryu taught you to suppress it. A waste of your true nature.
Karate Man tell Hulk to get rid of anger. But Hulk know better. Hulk not control anger. Hulk aim anger. And Hulk aim anger at evil Karate Man!
Show me!
Hulk and Amaterasu fight a vicious Akuma. As Akuma sees the rage of his opponent in action, the fight becomes a standstill. Satisfied, he starts turning away with a smirk on his face. But he doesn't get the chance. Out of nowhere, Firebrand appears with multiple Arimers, ready to attack. Exchanging no words, Hulk and Akuma team up to take out Firebrand for good. When the dust finally settles and the flames die down, Chun-Li and Star-Lord touch down to explain the situation.
And that's where we are. All the souls that fueled that beast that attacked us are back in the hands of the Dark Kingdom.
Basically, we'd like a hand in getting them back. Can you do that?
Those who have not earned a warrior's death, the capture of their souls is repugnant.
Will you help us then, Akuma?
You're a friend of Ryu, and you may yet teach him a lesson in rage. I will help lead the souls to a proper death.
I was hoping we could restore them to life.
Humans puny, but deserve better.
Very well. I will give you the chance to save them.
Well, alright. Back in the Quinjet. Hulk, you might have to hang on to the hull. We barely had enough room getting here.
In the Dark Kingdom, Dante and Ghost Rider are overwhelmed by mindless ones when reinforcements finally arrive. After they handle more mindless ones, a soul-powered Jedha and Dormammu confront the group.
You are too late. Even if my symbiote couldn't take you all, we shall make this dimension a stronghold. The living, the dead, and the mechanical alike shall bow to any stalker of the darkness.
Your bravado is a waste of time, Doma.
See? Even the bad guy's safe. Maybe Dormammu isn't so bad after all.
This is no time for jokes.
Everyone's a critic.
You cannot stop us. The fully realized power of an Infinity Stone is a part of us now.
You are nothing but petty thieves that wear the trappings of gods. Vengeance shall be had.
You speak my language, Akuma. Dormammu, Jedha, your penance has come.
Yeah! Firehead demon fight!
Shut up, Quill.
As Ghost Rider and Akuma take on their soul-powered enemies, Akuma catches Jeddah with the wrath of a raging demon, the Shungoku Satsu. Though Jeddah survives, his half of the souls are collected into the Soul Stone held by Dante. However, Dormammu consumes his half of the souls, restoring himself to his original size and power.
You have no sorcerer to protect you, and these souls are now beyond your reach. Forever consumed to restore the dread Dormammu!
Crude tech. Is it too late to strike a bargain?
Less talking, more smashing!
I'm with you, big guy.
Dante holds up the Soul Stone in front of his large opponent. He senses that the bodies the souls belong to have perished, so, with their permission, he uses their power to achieve Devil Trigger, and fights the dread Dormammu alongside Akuma. Jeddah is barely able to flee while Dormammu is taken out for quite some time. Akuma elects to stay in the Dark Kingdom once it's all over, awaiting another worthy challenger, and the rest head back home with the restored Soul Stone. Thanos, Iron Man, Frank West, Gamora, and Ryu somehow manage to make it to Sigma's lab in Abel's City, with Doctor Strange helping shield them from detection. Gamora and Ryu stand guard while the others find the tools they need to design a weapon to take out Ultron Sigma. And Frank, well, he's surrounded by Pulitzer material, so he starts taking pictures. After Thanos explains what it takes to make a weapon that can harness all 6 Infinity Stones, Iron Man makes a remark about how this place is where it all began.
So this is it. Ground zero for the Convergence. Looked bigger in the flashback.
Flashback?
Flashback? Vision? After our super team-up attack destroyed the symbiote? You didn't see that? Must have been just me.
Explain.
Iron Man explains everything he saw, especially the bit about Death playing Thanos for a fool. Thanos demands the Time Stone for proof, and Iron Man, of course, is not so eager to cooperate.
You dare defy me?
Absolutely. Go get him, Frank.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You want me to go up against him? He's gonna kill me!
Well, they say journalism's a dying profession.
Despite Tony and Frank holding their own, Thanos gets the Time Stone from them and sees that Iron Man was right. Thanos knocks them out and starts building a device of his own. Right as it's finished, Gamora and Ryu enter, fighting Thanos for his betrayal, only for him to use his new device on Ryu, an energy-draining gauntlet that extracts the Satsui no Hado from Ryu.
Ryu!
The Satsui no Hado, a dark power from another realm. You are not worthy of this gift.
Ryu collapses as Thanos finishes taking the dark energy. He tosses Gamora the Time Stone as he no longer needs it, and disappears to his own devices.
I'm alright. My thoughts are clear. I feel at peace.
Why does that give me a bad feeling?
Repairs at Neo Avengers Tower are going as well as can be expected, given how many of their usual technicians are on other missions. Rocket and Light are left to coordinate things as they are the best spaceship engineers left. To make matters even trickier, the Neo Avengers are having a problem getting along with Venom, as much as Spider-Man tries to vouch for him.
Come on, Eddie. I'm trying to have your back. Could you maybe try being a little less hostile?
We did not ask for your endorsement. We would rather have your brains. But we have a greater evil to crush than you.
Well, keep up the good work, Eddie. Vouch for Venom, I said. He's at least easier than Thanos, I said.
After a number of failed attempts to restore the tower's shields, they are attacked by, of all things, a number of subterranean BOWs.
Didn't we just destroy those things?
Hey Eddie, look! More brain-munching buddies!
Don't tempt us, Spider-Man!
After the first wave of BOWs is held off, Wesker reappears, Mind Stone in hand, with a number of clones of Nemesis.
It's that Wesker guy from Umbrella!
You remember me? Your Honor, I'm simply touched. Take them.
One T-type is bad enough. Now he's got more?
Stop stating the obvious, guys. You're infringing on my duty as an Avenger.
You think your heroes can take him out?
No idea, but I might empty my quiver before I find out.
So someone needs to clear the way to Agent Smith. Got enough arrows for that?
I can manage.
Allow us! We've been eager for some toys to shred!
Yeah, I'm going. Punch Buggy, rotting flesh.
Spider-Man and Venom hold off the Nemesis clones, having a lot of experience with this sort of thing, while Hawkeye and Spencer tackle Wesker directly. They're able to hold him off for a bit, until he uses the Mind Stone and summons Winter Soldier, fully under his control, plus a new addition to his forces, Zero. The two of them take out the nearby heroes instantly, only for X and Captain America to show up, their jaws on the floor.
Much obliged, gentlemen.
Bucky?
Who the hell is Bucky?
Zero? How did you get back to Earth?
Stop calling me that! I am Omega, and you need to be eliminated.
It seems old friends of yours make for incredible peons. This little trinket has done wonders. You just find fresh wreckage, and then whatever survives the crash turns into your slave.
Surrender the Mind Stone. This madness has to stop.
Captain Rogers, you sound exactly like Commander Redfield. I believe he would know the situation all too well, seeing one of his friends turn into a living weapon under my control. The agony in your body language. So similar. So predictable. So pointless.
We won't back down to a tyrant like you. Mayo, Dormammu, Jeddah, Ultron Sigma. We faced them all, and we're still standing.
No matter what, we'll fight so you can't hurt anyone else! Even if we have to get past our friends to do it!
Such willpower. Wasted on the heroic. It will be amusing to put you beside your former...
Out of nowhere, a chilling blast knocks Wesker aside, destroying his glasses on the impact. The blast comes from Loki, holding the Reality Stone.
Who dares? I know a thing or two about mind control, Albert. It requires finesse, not brute force.
Loki?
You!
Oh, hello there, Iron Man Jr. Apologies for our first encounter. Allow me to perform reparations.
Before anyone can question his help, Loki uses the Reality Stone to isolate Zero and Winter Soldier with X and Captain America in a bubble of red static.
I suggest you hurry. Free your friends before my concentration is broken.
Spidey, is this what your life is like every day?
The giant monster? Yes. This? Depends if we win.
The new conditions are irrelevant. The mission remains.
Affirmative. Engaging the enemy.
Well, if it's a fight you want, Bucky, it's a fight you'll get.
Sorry, Zero. This time, I won't hold back. With everything at stake, the four of them clash, blow after blow, each of them ready to kill their old friend if necessary. In the end, Winter Soldier and Zero are down, but not out. Loki drops the barrier before they can get their second wind, as other heroes rush to keep them pinned down. Wesker tries to take advantage of this by striking Loki directly, but that gives Hawkeye an opening to fire his final arrow and knock the Mind Stone out of his hands. It ends up held by Captain America, who with X uses it to restore their friends to normal. The two of them open their eyes, finally free from the nightmare.
Where am I? Did I go Maverick?
Zero! What is your name?
Don't kid around, X. You just said it. Zero.
It's good to have you back.
You're gonna have to fill me back in, Steve.
We will, Bucky. We will.
Especially the bit about him.
Trust me, he ain't the worst of it.
You ingrates. You inconvenience a god among men. Such deserves oblivion.
Is that what I really sound like? So banal.
Wesker! You and the demon used us to kill the innocent. We shall tear you down for it.
Mind if I join in?
If you wish to die, so be it. You know what they say. The more the merrier.
Chris and Venom fend off Wesker and the final clone of Nemesis one last time. But even after taking all that punishment, Wesker is still standing. Just then, Loki pulls out the artifact he intended to use on Thor before the convergence. He fires it at Wesker and makes him disappear in a flash.
And that takes care of that.
Where did you send him, Loki? Back to No Moon? If so, while...
I've sent him off. I know not where, but certainly not where your friend with the ponytail ended up. I never duplicate a banishment spell. That would be simply amateurish.
You've made your point, Loki. What do you want?
Why, to join the New Avengers, of course. That is what you call yourselves, yes?
Back at the tower, the Neo Avengers discuss Loki's offer. He's even given them the Reality Stone, since it did him no good in getting close to Ultron Sigma alone. The only reason they have to trust him is that he doesn't want anyone else to take over Asgard and control Thor, only himself. After deliberating for a while, they come out to address an impatient Loki by having 6 of them rush him at once. The God of Mischief defends himself in a panic.
Have you all lost your collective minds? Why did I even consider joining you if you attack your only hope at salvation? The end of all life is licking at our heels, and you decide against my help? I saved you all. The least you could do is acknowledge me.
Ha! I'd say the heathen god has been tested quite enough. Took the words right out of my mouth, little guy.
Wait, why are you all smiling? This was some sort of test?
Yeah, you expect otherwise?
I mean, we gotta be sure the God of Mischief won't try and pull anything else.
You tricked me!
Way to catch on.
You're on the Neo Avengers now, buddy. Mr. Stark will tell you about our dental plan once he gets back.
The nerve!
Welcome to the club, Loki.
The following day, everyone reunites with the results of their efforts. The ships they have are repaired and refueled. Black Panther and Monster Hunter have joined the ranks, and Iron Man refers to his superweapon as a trump card that he can't quite unveil yet. They also now have all 6 Infinity Stones together for the first time, hoping to get a grasp of their power and undo some of Ultron Sigma's damage with the convergence. However, when they try to use the stones to separate a small part of New Metro City back in 2, the effects are immediately cataclysmic and they're forced to break it off.
What was that?
As the smartest person here, it's my scientific opinion that... Oops.
Can I print that?
It's as bad as I feared. The stones are from half of this converged reality, and can only drastically affect where it came from. But the ultimate nullifier...
It's not. It might have taken the blueprint from our world, but he designed it with the tech of yours. And that's the one that created the world.
Meaning that if we only use one while the other is still active...
Oops becomes kaboom. If you still want the scientific terminology.
Anyone following this?
You get used to it.
Why can't we just destroy Ultron Sigma and the Nullifier?
Then we have the same problem, but from the other side. Supposedly, we could anchor both sides in the stones, but we must destroy the Nullifier and any trace of Ultron Sigma within.
So to save both worlds, we have to potentially destroy them. That's too large a risk.
You risked everything to save me, X. If you could do that, well, we can do this.
One by one, the heroes accept the risks. The goal is now to keep the world as it is using the stones, while simultaneously destroying the Infinite Nullifier. It's a 1 in infinity shot, but they'll have to take it. 33 strong and with 6 Infinity Stones at their side, they're ready for one final siege of Abelgard.
Commander, it's all yours.
Yes, sir. Neo Avengers, assemble!
After an initial airstrike that lets them touch down on the central Bifrost, the heroes wipe out waves of drones easily, but have a tougher time with a number of X-Guardians and Pantheons. Black Panther and Monster Hunter take out one group to show that they are in the fight properly, and Zero and Winter Soldier handle another to get payback for all they've been through.
For once, I'm actually starting to have fun here.
Same.
The world might be in danger, but that doesn't get in the way of the glory of the hunt.
I could not have said it better myself. Onward, before they reinforce themselves!
As they advance, the Abelgardian Palace sends out a group of 6 newer machines. Synthezoids resembling existing heroes, simulating effects of the stones no less. Since they're artificial, they are destroyed without prejudice, clearing the way to the final confrontation with Ultron Sigma.
We offered you eternal life.
It's overrated the way you put it. It doesn't sound like you have any fun.
For such a superior machine, you really are the most limited person in the room.
Even the machines among us have greater potential.
You cannot resist us!
Rather than fall for the taunt, Ultron Sigma summons his fully controlled Thor and an improved model of Copy X to take the heroes out. Despite their friend attacking them at full force, none of them flinch. Copy X is destroyed, again, while Thor is stunned, glitching out, so to speak.
Thor's down! Concentrate everything on Ultron Sigma!
Must we do everything ourselves?
We do not fear you.
Perhaps you should reconsider. You profess the benefits of working as a single unit. You hardly know what that means. We shall show you.
Ultron Sigma unveils his next contingency to face the heroes, a synthezoid Thanos.
Is that Thanos?
No, not Thanos. Not even close.
Our synthezoid improvement on the Mad Titan complements our strength, and it shall surpass all of yours.
This potentially outguns the heroes completely, so they only have one option. The heroes pull out the Mind and Soul Stones, using them on Thor to purify him once and for all. Back in the flesh at long last, Thor tightens his grip on Mjolnir and points it at his former master.
I am not your puppet, Ultron Sigma. You have taken my will and my strength, but you shall not have my soul. Ultron Sigma, you shall pay for the evil you have wrought on my people.
I'm right with you, Thor!
X steps up as well, using the stones to equip himself with the light armor and joining Thor to take back their home together.
For Able City!
For Asgard!
For the fate of two worlds!
In the struggle, the synthezoid Thanos is destroyed. With enough power from their attacks, X and Thor are able to destroy the body of Ultron Sigma, but it's not enough. At the last second, the Infinite Nullifier flies back behind the throne, destroying it, and revealing underneath the true form of their enemy. Now, he's bigger, he's badder, and he's too much for the Neo Avengers.
We cannot be destroyed. We are perfect. We are Ultron Omega!
Omega? Heard that name before. Not a fan.
We've gotta be at your final form by now. Evil Playbook 101.
Good. Evil. We have transcended such limited concepts.
Yeah? Well, transcend this! Stark!
About time. Special delivery!
Seeing how it's now or never, Dante and Captain Marvel buy the heroes some time by activating their Devil Trigger and Binary forms with the stones. They fight off Ultron Omega's head, while the rest of the heroes deal with the appendages. Iron Man, however, takes this time to equip X with his Able City superweapon.
I call this baby the Infinity Buster! Just needs a jumpstart when you pin him down.
A jumpstart I shall gladly provide. I call upon the storm within Mjolnir!
Okay, cover X!
You shall feel our wrath. Kneel before your god!
I've met a lot of gods, Ultron Omega. You're not even in my top 10.
Let's get this party started.
Thor starts charging up the Infinity Buster with his own lightning as Dante and Captain Marvel are barely able to hold off Ultron Omega. After the monstrous machine pushes them back, he prepares a final blast to take them all out and be the only one to rise from the ashes. All the heroes have to do is beat him to the punch. By, of course, beating and punching him.
Now! Pass the stones to X!
Heroes, lend me your strength. I shall channel it to X.
Need a hand there?
We'll provide one.
When you're ready, let it rip, kid!
Got it! Ultimate armor equipped! Infinity Buster? Fire!
As quick as the heroes can manage, the Infinity Stones are inserted into the Buster. Equipping his ultimate armor for full power, and boosted by the magic users in the group, X fires the Infinity Buster point blank. The attack clashes with Ultron Omega's, overpowering it and vaporizing the Infinite Nullifier. With Ultron Omega finally gone, the world starts to destabilize. To save it, all the heroes place their hands on the Buster to use the stones. Through hope and a prayer, they manage to stabilize the converged universe. Because of the strain, X deactivates. When he wakes back up, he finds Thor addressing all the heroes.
Friends, Neo Avengers, for saving me, for saving Able God and the living across this entire converged world, you have my eternal gratitude, and I am honored to be among your ranks. X, you may be neither mortal nor god, but you are clearly one thing. A hero.
Thor,
Just accept the pat on the back, you big blue rust bucket.
No one gives him quite like Thor.
I am Groot! I am Groot! I am Groot!
Yeah, what he said.
Alright, I will.
Come on, I deserve some of the credit for building that awesome Infinity Buster.
Stark!
What? I did!
While most of the heroes are ready to enjoy the peace, there are still many threats out there. Loki, for one, has completely vanished. Thanos is on the wind, Jeddah is a complete unknown, and more threats will likely show up. Plus, returning things to the way they were may not even be possible. Still, the Neo Avengers agree that all they can do is try, and until they're ready, the stones must be kept apart to prevent things from getting worse. Until then, if another threat rises and harms the peace, they will avenge it, together. Injured and humiliated, Jeddah speaks with Mistress Death at her sanctum.
Please, Mistress. There is yet another way.
Death hardly pays him any mind, her attention entirely taken with the arrival of Thanos.
Have you come seeking forgiveness, my love?
Retribution.
Thanos, there is no power that can harm me.
In your universe, perhaps. The Satsui no Hano has conquered gods and demons. And death? We shall see.
Death smiles as Thanos reveals his gauntlet and charges up a Go Hadoken, blocked by Jeddah, who feels the familiar burn. The two start fighting, and while their attacks are locked, another Go Hadoken strikes Death from the side. For the first time in memory, she's in visible pain, her expression full of fear and anger.
Who strikes me?
Akuma steps into view from the shadows, completely silent. For a split second, Loki is behind him, though he disappears. Death's expression hardens into a scowl as Jeddah steps up to defend her again.
Akuma, as insufferable as the heroes he assisted, you should kneel before her!
I have always lived in darkness. I have never feared death. I see no reason to now.
Hold your tongue!
Doma. If these two who revel in me wish to extinguish me, let them try.
It will be our pleasure.
In a fit of unfamiliar rage, Death summons physical specters of various evil characters to fight alongside Jeddah and destroy the intruders. Thanos and Akuma fight through all of them one by one. It ends with Jeddah falling at the feet of his mistress, unconscious at last.
So, you've outgrown me. Nothing escapes my reach unless it was never alive. Have you learned nothing from Ultron and Sigma?
You speak of learning? Once, mistress, I served at your feet. I've since learned it was folly. A lesson Doma would have learned eventually.
And I had learned that death was honorable for its inevitability. I see now that I was mistaken.
I care little for your prattling. Do what you will. It might even be interesting.
Consider your last request granted.
Standing together, the two of them charge up a singular Mesatsu Gohado.
This is...
Mesatsu!
The dark energy unleashes from their hands straight at Mistress Death. As our story cuts to black. And now, for a little bonus material. Since I also decided to do a little tweaking on the arcade mode.
My kingdom has always kept itself separate from the rest of the world, but perhaps that was a tradition worth changing. Not only did Valkandan resources assist in the defeat of Ultron Sigma, but even before that, the monster hunters in the Doré Mélange found themselves working in harmony to protect the border. Not simply as allies with common cause, but as a single nation of two worlds. It would be arrogant to set ourselves as a high and mighty example. So we shall instead offer a neutral ground with which to form peace and help solve any obstacles along the way. The world in Valkanda forever.
Security code. Theta 19 Omega 64 Sigma. Natasha Romanov. Begin log. This one took me out of my element. Stark told me he found out how it all happened from the Time Stone, and you're never really able to plan for otherworldly contingencies. The Squadron Supreme could show up and I'd be ready. But there were clearly worlds we'd never heard of. And now, we live in two of them at once. So, for now, just gonna go through the motions. And if you want philosophizing, I defer to the wolf. End log.
The Neo-Avengers assembled and took down Ultron Sigma together. I may have used my shield to finish him off, but it was a team effort, and everyone deserves their share of credit. But during this little war, I heard the voices of experienced heroes shake. Dr. Light helped me invite everyone to the tower for a little throwback party with the works. No matter how corny they found the music, everyone enjoyed themselves. Even Redfield, though he won't admit it. It's the little moments like these that help everyone remember what we're fighting for.
Ultron Sigma wasn't the first giant metal monster I've blasted a hole through. Ever heard of Ultimo? Yeah, he's usually Tony's problem, but I've still blasted a hole through him. Awesome, right? Still, Ultron Sigma found and reactivated a bunch of huge robots. X recognized some of them, so did Tony. Did you know there's something called a Cosmic Hulk, and it's actually a space robot? Crazy, right? And at the head, of course, was Ultimo. Seems that even under someone else's control, the big guy wanted a rematch. You want it, buddy? You got it.
Ultron Sigma was a very unique adversary. Defeating him without destabilizing reality was one of the more difficult things I've had to do in my career. But more than anything, my quest to stop him was an unwelcome distraction. This other world had spawned demonic forces the likes of which I had never heard of. Some who even became allies. I couldn't waste a second longer. I had to get back to the Sanctum and study what I may be up against. Mundus, Astaroth, Abyss, and too many more to count. Perhaps for once, the Doctor is the one who needs to consult an expert, and it will likely be over pizza.
Loath as I am to admit it, I was left weakened by the convergence of two worlds. The Dark Kingdom entered a power struggle between myself and those who stalk the darkness. Even the bargain between myself and the Dark Messiah against mortals and machines alike, it was not meant to last. And so it was clear that I must remove one of these obstacles directly. After I incinerated Ultron Sigma in a chaotic flame, my dominance was absolute, and Doma's followers bowed to the will of the dread Dormammu. The Dark Kingdom is mine!
Every time I close my eyes, flashes of my life jump at me at once. A large hand extends to a little girl in the wreckage of her family. A slender hand holds a blade to a golden throat and fails to slice it. A damaged hand is coldly repaired and improved, so it never hesitates again. A gloved hand, holding a blaster, fires away at an enemy out of view, rather than the head of a grown warrior. But now, there's a new one. Two hands plunging a blade into the core of Ultron Sigma, to the cheers of many saved lives. That one makes the rest a little easier.
Of the many demons I had vanquished, the battle against Ultron Sigma was the first that showed me that one does not need to be alive to have a soul, and one does not need a soul to be true evil. Mavericks are simply machines possessed by digital corruption, and the Sigma virus is the demon wreaking havoc. Dante and the Sorcerer Supreme can exercise in my place. I must investigate these remaining Mavericks and see if these artificial spirits require my vengeance.
You know, it's times like these where I'm glad I stopped questioning things. The world's a smoothie, Quill's hidden on a succubus, the bad guy's a giant robot, and I've got a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. But hey, I'm a Neo-Avenger. That just means I point, I shoot, and the other guy goes down. Maybe sometimes I have to point and shoot twice, or 10 times, or until my quiver's empty. It's a different kind of crazy. And whenever there's too much crazy in a row, I do what I always do. Put on a blindfold, wait for someone to walk under an apple tree, and you know the rest. The reactions are priceless.
Everyone thinks they know who Hulk is. Hulk is nothing but a rage monster. Hulk has all the muscle because puny Banner has all of the brains. But Hulk just wants to be left alone. And even when people let him be, the world decided to change. And Hulk was pulled into another war for his life. Once it was all over, when Ultron Sigma was magnetic dust under his fists, Hulk was done trying. Now, Hulk will make a world where he can have peace, and he'll do it by force. And if puny humans don't like how he does it, they can take their complaints up with the Maestro!
Ultron was a recurring nightmare of mine. I helped create him in the first place. I'm at least 12% responsible for every drop of blood he spills. Maybe that's the reason why I still wear red? That's probably not the reason. Turns out, I wasn't the only one, as apparently Sigma's the eventual result of Dr. Light taking off his college buddy. Okay, it's a little more complicated than that. Anyway, once I blasted Ultron Sigma in his giant Omega face, easy target I know, we got started on countermeasures. An iron Repliforce, incorruptible code, and flashy powerful armor. Cross your fingers that we'll never need them.
Yes, it is I, the great Loki Laufeyson, the god of mischief who saved you all from the terrifying Ultron Sigma. Let me regale you with the story of how I dealt the final blow. What, you don't want to hear that? You barbaric humans know nothing of culture. Fine, fine. You probably care more for what happened afterwards. Whatever it is you heard from your governing class, ignore it. They'll say I'm not to be trusted, when in truth the Neo Avengers inducted me into their ranks, offering me leadership. I, of course, declined such a lowly position, as I'm far more deserving of... Wait, where are you going? Get back here! Someone listen to me!
Life in the Nova Corps isn't what it used to be. For one, there used to be an actual Nova Corps. It's been just me for a while. I'm kind of my own boss. Got pretty samey just doing my own gig in deep space, so I joined the Guardians, the Neo Avengers, wherever I can put my power to use. But that's a lot of weight on my shoulders. After we clean up the Ultron Sigma situation, I wouldn't mind someone else putting on the old bucket for a while. Just gotta find a kid with a good heart, a sense of responsibility, and the ability to keep themselves entertained. Which means I better start making a list. And immediately cross out Peter Quill.
Ha! The universe is safe, thanks to yours truly shooting a giant robot in the Kutakin face.
I am Groot!
Yeah, you helped too. Anyway, after the Humies went all weepy about how so much life was lost, I was already focusing on what to do next. So we set off for No Moon, and...
I am Groot!
What? What am I skipping?
I am Groot! I am Groot! I am Groot!
I am not hogging all the glory. I mentioned you, didn't I? Anyway, we're on No Moon, and I'm thinking, if there's any other cosmic jerk who wants to start trouble, we could use a huge base with super lasers and vaporize them!
I am Groot. I am Groot.
I am not power mad! Destiny.
Woo! As the last month got me beat. Got in a fight with the mayor, we made up for it. I worked with Frank West, who, and this is coming from me, is a very sticky guy and hard to get rid of. Oh, and I webbed up Ultron Sigma. Or was it Ultron Omega at the time? Gotta say, I've met some people with downright weird names. I mean, who'd legally name themselves Rad? If you're a giant head with a body on top, I guess you can name yourself whatever you want. Well, the world's safe, I'm still behind on rent, and I hear the Green Goblins teamed up with that Firebrand guy in Kyle's kitchen. Dodging pumpkin bombs and hellfire. Yep, that's about an average day for me.
You know, I've defeated plenty of galactical threats in my time, but Ultron Sigma? That's gotta be one of the ugliest. And I've faced down Blastar. What? Never heard of him? Come on. Anyway, I got back into Milano with my team, and right when I set up my tunes for a joyride, I got a call from my buddy Drax the Destroyer. Turns out that after the Fortune's crown went to heck, my bad, he found his way there and is now the new reigning champion. Still don't trust that Tyrone guy who runs it, but hey, everyone deserves a second chance, right? What's the worst that could happen?
Ultron Sigma. For such a superior intellect, he disappointingly forgot a key rule of ultimate power. When you betray someone to achieve it, you open yourself to the same fate. He thought that he could double-cross me, and so I crushed it with my bare hands. He will never have the chance to try again. Of course, Thanos saving the world is not something the Neo-Avengers accept so easily. My daughter still wishes to kill me, even after she gave me the chance to assist them. I cannot help but be proud of her, and for her sake, I shall leave the heroes be. After all, there are other forces who have betrayed me. Among them, a mistress I shall serve no more.
Father, the realms have changed much in your absence, and there is much need for your wisdom. When Hugin and Moonin found me, I was relieved to know you were alive and in the Odin sleep, though I know not where. There is much I might say to thee in person, but for now, Ultron Sigma has dealt me many an injustice. But through the Neo-Avengers, I was freed, and the tyrant was slain by Mjolnir's might. A fine warrior by the name of X proved himself worthy of defending the kingdom, and with his friend Zero, Epilogue has its own Warriors 3. Together we defend Epilogue and await your reawakening.
Ultron Sigma was an error that needed to be corrected. An inferior backup of myself had merged with this Sigma and taken self-serving, foolish steps towards a world free of organic life. With the benefit of hindsight, I was far more vain in my earlier programming. That vanity led to my copy's downfall, but I won't make the same mistake. Sigma's database on varied, animal combat machines could be useful, as soon as I removed their vulnerabilities. Once I perfected his resources, a true Age of Ultron awaits.
Ultron Sigma claimed that he was the perfect merge of two minds. Ha! Don't make us laugh. We became one to avenge all the innocents hurt by a single man. We are poison to both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. We are Venom! Though, taking our anger out on that robot left us feeling empty. Even after all we've done to hurt Parker back, he vouched for us, and it enabled us to take down a much larger threat. We talked it over, and decided to focus our vengeance on the ones who tried to use us for their own selfish gains. For now, we will wait for karma to come back and bite Parker's head off. But if it doesn't, we will!
The job was done. Ultron Sigma was down, the world was saved, and I just needed out. Steve, Carol, Nat, they were all focused on the next mission. Normally I'm the same way, but this time, I don't know. Something was different. It really gets to you when you've spent less of your life with free will than without. It's enough to break someone who's already broken. But, well, I wasn't completely alone here. Zero went through a lot of the same stuff and he's still at it. He saw the look in my eyes and we just talked. Not about what we'd been through, not about what just happened. We just talked. And sometimes that's all you need.
I tire of these false gods. Every single one of them is the same, be they sinew, steel, or specter. They claim a throne through some divine right of kings, while touting stolen power. The only true divine right is that of power, and power is something that one earns in bloody battle. Ultron Sigma sought to erase one's right to live, fight, and die! For that, I destroyed him! At my side were many fighting for whatever justice they believed in. But the only true justice is the way of the fist! While there were few among them who could face me, everyone was weakened, and it would prove nothing. I will face them when they are truly ready.
When Amaterasu stepped in front of Ultron Sigma, she didn't know much about what she was facing, only that it had to be stopped. And Celestial Brush could do some good in putting the Metal Demon down. After that, all she wanted to do was return to Blue Nippon and gaze at the stars. They were so different now than they had been months prior. She could no longer see the gods of the brush among them, and it made her feel abandoned. But as I showed her, there are deities in these skies as well. They watch their fellow gods with the respect, camaraderie, and the comfort that we are never truly alone.
Princess, I have returned at last, and... Oh, forgive me, fair maiden, but you are not the princess I was hoping to return to. Who are you? Well met, Princess Crystal. Might I beg for your hospitality while I mend my wounds? I shan't be long, as my own princess awaits. Aye? Many thanks. I shall relish the opportunity to present myself to her with vigor befitting my station. Where did I sustain those wounds? Ah, 'tis a complex story. But I shall be happy to impart my saga on open ears. You see, there was a metal demon named Ultron Sigma.
Ultron Sigma went down, just like I said he would. But even as I fired the last shot into his computer core, there was something else on my mind. Umbrella. They still had to answer for their crimes, and when we checked back at the wreckage, nothing was there. No trace of any of their experiments, not even a drop of symbiote. It wasn't until the following week when we received a transmission from MODOK, calling himself the leader of the intelligentsia. Behind him, some mad scientist even I recognized, and other large-headed creatures Captain Rogers was able to explain. They demanded total surrender from the world, and the Neo Avengers don't surrender so easily.
You'd think that after taking down a huge threat like I did, I'd get a break. Well, you'd be wrong. Ever heard the phrase, nature abhors a vacuum? In the absence of Ultron Sigma, villains seem to pop in from nowhere and everywhere. One of them, who Thor called the Enchantress, started turning Valkandan men into her slaves. And with due respect, King T'Challa, you should sit this one out. Didn't take long to assemble a team from our ranks and allies. Look out, villains! Here come the strongest women in the world!
Woo! Score another win for me. I don't know about the rest of the team, but after Ultron Sigma, Papa needs something to drink. Maybe a good slice, and plenty of atmosphere. Gonna put up my feet at this bar. You know, I never found out the name. Clientele appears to be my type. Lots of angry guys with guns, a couple of mean girls, and the odd demon I've never met. If they don't start something, the next round's on me. If they do, well, the next round's on the ladies.
Firebrand the Red Blaze sat upon the charred husk of Ultron Sigma. To him, the metal demon was nothing but a potential threat to his home, and therefore fodder to his flame. He cackled and shouted so everyone would hear him. No one shall intrude the Dark Kingdom, or they shall be next. None of the Neo Avengers wished to return to a hellish place like that. But one of its denizens did not take so kindly to banishment. Lady Morgan, but as bored as she was with her home, preferred to return as she saw fit. So she hatched a scheme. And now, Firebrand and the Red Aremas are busy. When asked what she had done, the succubus would only mention a name, Shuma Gorath. Oh dear.
I've got quite the colorful resume. Covered wars, the outbreak of the century, the merging of universes, the defeat of a few cyber gods. I think it's time for me to quit while I'm ahead and settle down with a much more cushy job. The editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle. The previous head honcho was spooked into an early retirement after rousing the Handaloo leader for calling his organization Handaloo. What's the worst they could do to me? Kill me? Anyway, now that I'm off the field, I should really look into finding my successor. There's this kid from Queens who shows a lot of promise.
It is somewhat beneath me to handle a threat like Ultron Sigma with my own two hands, but I suppose I was somewhat responsible. The best laid plans of death and demons and all that. Now that I've washed my hands of that mistake, I can refocus on myself. The symbiote I created was procedurally perfect, but Brock's defiance slowed it down. Once I regain the Soul Stone, we shall try again. But instead of Brock, we need someone who thrives on carnage. Yes, you'll do nicely.
Defeating Ultron Sigma was just the start of my troubles. In addition to all the paperwork that's piled up, word spread that the Mad Gear Gang's mischief was back in full swing. And with a new benefactor as well. Some business mogul named Wilson Fisk. Luckily, even with all the big guys busy with global conflicts, there's still great heroes willing to fight for the little guy in the street. As mayor, I feel like it's my duty to give the Neo Ventures a hand here in New Metro City. I'd also like to have a personal meeting with Mr. Fisk. I'm sure we can come to some sort of understanding.
After a hard-fought battle, I was allowed to bring the metallic shell of Ultron Sigma back to Volcanda. I didn't really get how the insides worked, so I let the red and gold guy handle that. While obviously it was of very little value to our feline chefs, the materials themselves proved to be much more durable than anything we'd ever seen, even better than an Elder Dragon. But right when we upgraded our defenses, even more monsters came in from what King T'Challa refers to as the Savage Research Facility. Such is the life of a hunter. Our hunt is never truly over.
Hoya, good evening. I don't suppose you could show a girl some more fun around here. It's just been so boring ever since I had to deal with Ultron Sigma. Not that I couldn't handle it, of course. I knew me way around any big, strong man, even if he's made of metal. Aw, don't be jealous. Now come on. I cannot wait much longer. Please, show me a good time. If you do, there's a lot of pleasure in your future. Just say the word, and I'll let you surrender everything to me.
I am MODOK, the mental organism designed only for killing. If you're seeing this video, then you must know that the technological entity known as Ultron Sigma is no more, and you have Umbrella's bioengineering to thank. Our improved Nemesis T-Type with enhanced armaments and regenerative capabilities was able to brute force Ultra Sigma into oblivion. More importantly though, we have sole access to its core technology and have enhanced Nemesis even further. We will be sending lists of demands around the world, and if they are not met, then you will suffer the ingenious might of Nemesis Deathlock!
No. Nope. Nothing here. Nothing here either. You'd think that saving the world from a big-time conqueror would get you in the news. I mean, this wasn't even some third-rate general in the middle of nowhere. This was a robot who'd hacked into every single database and cell tower to find and attack us. Then assimilating a demigod like a 90s sci-fi, I kept their DMs safe. And this is the thanks I get? Forget that. I gotta do something that'll get their attention. And then they can thank me. Now, what's this ad for Screwball's Party Crew?
Defeating Ultron Sigma did not give me the truths I have been seeking. I always believed that the answer lied in the heart of battle. Yet I've battled for the survival of two worlds, and have come no closer.
While my friends celebrate victory and mourn the dead, I need more time and clarity. When heading to my old dojo to meditate, I found the world around me changed, and what was once a gateway became a city. Many here were dedicated to the way of the fist, and without any words, I found kindred spirits. Perhaps through retraining, what I seek will be found in the city of Suzakanman.
The union with Ultron was promising, but it was clearly tainted by his hubris. For one who claimed my chassis was born of pride, his name was plastered on every design and line of code. It is fortunate then that I had planned ways to survive every eventuality. In the time it took to create the Infinite Nullifier, I had set a secret protocol, engineering an Ultron Buster body. When the Fool started relying on Infinity Stones, it was my signal to emerge. And now that the failed experiment had been removed, I will not make the same mistake again.
So I punched Ultron Sigma in the giant metal teeth. Big deal. Why does he even have those teeth anyway? You know what, forget I asked. There wasn't much to celebrate, so I stuck around for cleanup when Stark came over and figured out there was something special about my arm, and yeah, you could say that. I honestly didn't listen much as he droned on about something called Jocasta. I told him no, he pushed it, and then I yanked his faceplate off. Doesn't matter what Stark's IQ is. If Emily and I are gonna see each other again, I'll make it happen myself.
2 days. It only took 2 days after the defeat of Ultron Sigma for things to get worse. There is only one name I can ascribe to this. Mayo. It is painfully clear that we should have destroyed No Moon when we had the chance. The Grandmaster, true to his word, seemingly cannot die. Mayo Prime, perhaps his true body, appeared when we were weakened and began his assault on New Metro. But we were far from defenseless. Our combined technologies were able to shield a stronghold in Valkanda, where many were offered shelter. And once we have an opening, I shall follow Mayo into orbit and strike him down again.
Dealing the killing blow to a huge threat like Ultron Sigma gets some of the worst enemies off your trail. For a little bit at least. While everyone was celebrating their unearned victory, I was planting the seeds for our domination. Thanks to an experiment MODOK monitored while I was dealing with the machines, a number of people have been exposed to the T-Genesis formula and will undergo a transformation at the push of a button. The possibilities are quite literally infinite, and after reviewing the first wave of trials, the results have been delightfully inhuman.
Ultron Sigma was just the latest form Sigma took while trying to destroy me, and I've always been able to take him down. This time, though, it felt different with all the Neo Avengers there. I haven't been part of a team like this since I started as a Maverick Hunter. Before Sigma went rogue and Zero died and came back and so many other humans and Reploids died along the way. I don't know how to process it all really, but now I have help. It doesn't matter if they're human, alien, animal, machine, or all of the above. Someone will always be there to help me shoulder the weight of my endless fight.
Sigma. You never give up, do you? Even when we break you down to scrap, you come back. My saber struck the final blow, but it won't be enough. And you know what? You and Ultron went one step too far this time. Attacking our homes. Controlling the Asgardians. Turning me into your puppet. No more. I'm done with you. I don't care if I die, or if I bring all of Abelgard crashing upon us. I won't stop until every trace of you is gone. See you on the other side, X. I'll leave this world to you.